even think I need to explain who he is, and he's a person who's undeniably impacted the entire rap industry, inspired many people, and has often been considered to be the greatest rapper of all time. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really the biggest fan of Eminem. I understand why people do like him. Hell, I'm not even gonna lie and say that I don't like some of his songs, but I really wouldn't go out of my way to listen to his newer stuff. And besides, to be fair, apparently I'm not missing out on much. Like, what the fuck has he done after releasing Godzilla exactly? He opened up a restaurant, I guess. He bought an NFT and now has an NFT music video with Snoop Dogg. Oh yeah, he also rhymed orange with banana and called it a banana and started playing Fortnite with someone's grandma. Those are real lyrics from one of his songs, by the way. However, at the time, more specifically in the early 2000s, Eminem was a pretty big deal. And of course, thanks to that popularity, it wouldn't be a surprise that big corporations try to capitalize on Zach's success. And you know what else was getting popular at the time? The internet. So what would happen if we combine a rapper whose entire persona was to be edgy as possible and a web cartoon from the early 2000s? Well, my friends, we would have the Slim Shady Show. Slim Shady. I'm not even gonna try and sugarcoat the video having you wonder if this show is actually a hidden masterpiece, because no, this actually might be the worst piece of animation I've ever seen. It's childish, stupid, and offensive, which perfectly describes the Slim Shady persona. It still sucks though, so I bet you're probably asking yourself, but Manuel, if you don't have any strong feelings towards Eminem and hate the show, why are you talking about it? Why waste moments of your precious life that could be gone at any moment now talking about a show like this? Well, my fellow viewers, the fact of the matter is, I just thought it'd be funny. Plus, I can now imagine the absolute salt that Eminem fans are going to be leaving after watching this video. Because contrary to popular belief, people actually like this show. Like, for example, look at this IMDb review, which now I'll be reading in the most dramatic way possible. I've watched a lot of funny cartoons and lots of them are not for children. As far as the humor in this show goes, it is totally uncensored and every aspect of it is hilarious. The character Slim Shady is completely how you envision Eminem from his first album, Only the Slim Shady LP. Lots of voices of characters were voiced by Eminem. Some directors and other rappers like I'm not even gonna try and pronounce the name. The show has music and freestyles, as you would expect a show made by Eminem. Originally, this show was only viewable online, instantly became popular, and was bought to be released on DVD. If you like crude humor and fairly complex character plots, then this show may be for you. Wait a fucking second. Complex character plots? In what fucking universe does a show like this have complex character plots, man? Like, come on, the dick writing is crazy. Like, you are scaring the hoes away. Jesus Christ, man. Oh yeah, another reason why I'm doing this is because it's been a while since I've actually dunked on something that I thought was genuinely awful. So, like, this gives me the perfect opportunity to do so. So, yeah, if you're expecting to, like, come onto this video expecting sort of an analytical masterpiece, something, like, nerd-stalgic, then, sorry to disappoint you, Chief. This is more or less like a roast session or something, which actually is perfect because...
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Manuel D Show!
In this scenario, I decided to rent out an entire TV show host setup, I guess. Also, yes, it looks like Eric Andre's because it literally is from Eric Andre. I couldn't come up with anything else, so sorry. Well, that's besides the point. So yeah, with all that being said, let's talk about the time Eminem had a cartoon and why it's painfully terrible. The Slim Shady Shady Show was created by Matt Brooks, Peter Gilstrap, and Eminem himself. It was also written by Matthew, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that last name, and lasted only 11 episodes, originally being released as a web cartoon from September 15, 2000 until 2003, and then getting a DVD release. The show revolves around the wacky adventures of Slim Shady and Marshall. Yeah, Eminem has two characters for some reason, which is kind of weird, but that's besides the point, and his group of friends getting into trouble, or as they like to put it, wicked adventures across Detroit. There was also a behind the scenes video about the show itself, which is actually longer than the actual episodes themselves, and they do give out some pretty interesting tidbits about the show itself. Most of the voices were done by Eminem, and TV actually had the idea of Eminem being split into two characters to where to have this sort of devil on a person's shoulder vibe. The animators were the ones that came up with the theme song, and the animation was done by two people called the Gifted Men, who you might know for animating such classics like... Other than that, that's practically everything about the history of the show itself. Like, not even the official Eminem Wikipedia has information about the cartoon itself, which can tell you enough about the quality that not even Eminem fans wants to talk about it. So, yeah, that's a bummer. So, yeah, short history lesson, I guess. Let's talk about the actual show itself. Yeah. Alright, let's get the comically awful looking elephant out of the way first. The art style and animation of this show looks fucking atrocious, and I don't really need to explain why it looks bad. Like, you can clearly look at your screen and come up with your own conclusion. But fuck it. The art style of this show makes people who draw stickmen literally happy that they can draw stickmen instead of this. Speaking of which, the designs of this show look dead-ass awful. Like, come on, look at Big D's design. Like, this is just outright racist, and the rest of the cast just looks like shit as well. Specifically Marshall, like, his forehead is so big that you can dead-ass play tic-tac-toe on it. Doesn't really help with the fact that the entire show's color palette looks like complete shit. It's not even me trying to sound exaggerated for the source of comedy. Like, it literally consists of vomit green, piss yellow, dark orange, and shit brown. The actual animation doesn't even look like animation for half the time. It looks like more of an unfinished animatic, which is actually insulting to unfinished animatic from other web cartoons that actually don't look half bad. Like, look at the lip syncing of the show and tell me this looks properly done. You're probably thinking to yourself, but Manuel, it was a show from the year 2000. Of course it wasn't gonna look good, you cuck. But to that I have to say, what about Clark's the Animated Series? On paper it has some similar stuff to the Slim Shady Show. It's a show that came out in the year 2000. It's about the misadventures of a celebrity, in this case that being Kevin Smith, and it got canceled after a couple of episodes. However, the difference is that Clark's the Animated Show is actually pretty good from the clips I've seen of it. However, some of you might say that isn't a fair comparison, and honestly, I can get that. After all, the Clark's the Animated Series was made for an actual TV show instead of a web series. So let me bring up something else. How about Homestar Runner, a web cartoon that was released on January 1st, 2000, while the two people that created it, those being Matt and Mike Chapman, were learning how to use Adobe Flash. Sure, the old Homestar Runner doesn't necessarily look that great now, but in full honesty, just look at Homestar Runner and the Slim Shady Show and tell me that Homestar Runner doesn't look better. But hey, the animation may suck, but that's not the only defining thing about a cartoon. Many adult animated shows don't necessarily look great, but the main thing that carries it is its writing. So how's the writing in this show? God, where do I even begin? Okay, let's start with the fact that this is so desperately trying to be South Park but edgier while also missing the point of the use of edginess within South Park. One of the main taglines of this show is, "The Slim Shady Show makes South Park look like the Smurfs." The thing about South Park, its edginess, and the reason why it maintains its relevance after all these years is because of the way they utilize their comedy. Of course, you can make the argument that South Park is too mean-spirited, and I won't deny that there are times where this show does something really out of pocket, but it's not done on purpose of just being edgy, but it's intentional as it satirizes the topic of the specific episode it's commenting about. The Slim Shady Show's only jokes is about Eminem finding a specific celebrity, saying that the stuff they were in sucked, and then beat them up. Rinse and repeat for the entire series, and each time the joke becomes less and less funny, which doesn't help with the fact that the joke wasn't even funny to begin with. Or having jokes about sex, dick and balls, and it isn't even funny either. The humor of the show falls flat, at least for me, because there's no proper punchline to the setup, and the setup itself is poorly introduced. For the punchline itself, it's just edgy for the sole reason of just being edgy, and while at the time it could have worked for the series when it came out, I think we can all agree that a lot of Eminem's jokes and the stuff that he said at the time didn't age well. The writing itself isn't even any better. Most of the concepts of the show are just Eminem and his group of friends, which by the way are nothing but one-note stereotypes, going on random adventures, and the random adventures are just kind of end abruptly monopoly all of a sudden for some reason. It's like they try to do one thing and then it just leads to another thing which isn't connected at all. And wait, what? Huh, that's where my script ends. Well, I can't end the video like this. It feels a little bit too short for my liking. Oh wait, pause, what the so what the hell do I do to stretch the time a little longer? Oh wait, it's been a good minute since I have the last done a collab, so why not invite 3 of my friends who have some sort of experience with music and let them talk about the show itself. So with that being said, let me introduce our 3 special guests, ShadeX, Kiro Nemi, and Zac Quinn. So with all that being said, take it away, you guys.
So here's a little question for y'all. Would you like $10 million in cash, but you have to watch the entirety of Eminem's Slim Shady cartoon? If you're smart, you would have turned down the money and continue living a good life. But if you're like me, you had to sit down and watch one of the worst cartoons ever animated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to hell. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Zac Quinn, and I love cartoons, and I also love music. Now, most of the time when you combine animation with music, it always turns out to be amazing, but what if we got Eminem and made a cartoon about him? Surely that won't turn out to be a disaster, right? Right? Let's just get this over with, man. The Slim Shady Show is an old 2000s animated series that was brought to us by the devil, I mean Eminem, one of the most mid rappers out there, and you can't change my mind on that. In this series, we see Slim Shady go on some pretty wacky and crazy adventures with his friends, while also living in Detroit. What's Detroit again? Now, just by looking at this series, it looks like complete dog shit. This has to be some of the worst animation I have ever laid my eyes on. I understand that this was made for the internet in the early 2000s, but fucking hell, the animation reminds me of the Nut Shack, but worse somehow. And you know your animation is bad when the Nut Shack looks better. And oh god, the voice acting here is horrendous. The voice actors sound like they were woken up from a nap and had to record the lines without even looking at the script. And the audio quality is so bad. It sounds like they recorded the audio on an Xbox 360 headset. And their attempts at humor here is just like my attempts at love. It fails terribly. Every joke here is just obnoxious and isn't funny in the slightest. They try to make visual jokes, but with this terrible animation, it comes off as the animators having a heart attack while animating. And the writing, oh god, the writing. It feels like Eminem gathered some high school kids and told them to write a cartoon in less than a day. They attempt to tell crude jokes, but it just comes off as annoying and sometimes unbearable to watch. So, in conclusion, the Slim Shady Show is an abomination, and I wouldn't even make my worst enemies watch this shit. Instead, go watch paint dry for a few hours. It will be 10 times funnier than watching this piece of shit. Anyway, fuck you Manuel for bringing me on here. Subscribe to my channel, have a good day, or night, whatever. Goodbye.
Hello, it's ShadeX, and during my teen years, I listened to a lot of music by Eminem. I was so into Eminem that I bought his autobiography, which is honestly a great read. The recovery era was when I really got into his music, and soon enough, I was listening to his older albums like The Eminem Show. Speaking of The Eminem Show, it's a great album, so I am glad Manuel D hit me up to talk about it. Oh wait, I misremembered. I am not reviewing The Eminem Show. Instead, I am reviewing Eminem's web series, The Slim Shady Show. I remember hearing about this web cartoon from the early 2000s because it is apparently one of the worst adult animated shows of all time. I am unsure how bad it is, but I know Eminem is a funny guy. He was funny on his albums and the Comedy Central show Crank Yankers from what I remember. Maybe this show is quality? Surely it can't be that bad though, right? Right? The Slim Shady Show is
fucking disappointment.
This show is Marshall Mathers' poor attempt at South Park. Well, to be fair, he isn't the sole writer of the show, despite providing some improvised lines. Matthew Cyrilnik wrote it. But yeah, this show tries so hard to be South Park. The first episode of The Slim Shady Show even directly parodies the far superior cartoon. The show itself is about kid versions of Slim Shady and Marshall Mathers. Both alter egos are voiced by Eminem. Slim Shady is how you'd expect foul-mouthed and toxic. Marshall's character, on the other hand, is pretty one-note. He's timid and a huge simp. That's essentially his character. Not only does Eminem voice his rap alter egos, but he also voices Ken Kniff, who is literally nothing but a gay stereotype. The character was well known for appearing in skits in Eminem albums. Usually his skits just equate to, he's a creepy gay man, isn't that funny? And this applies especially to this show as well. Anyway, besides those three characters, the rest of the cast in the Slim Shady Show are made exclusively for the web series. We've got Big D, who is black and has big red lips. Sure, he's voiced by a black voice actor, but that design would not fly today at all. Big D in the show is a rapper. The most memorable things from the show I remember about him were the time he rapped and then ate a dude, and that he has a little brother named Little G. Then there's Sue, who is just the girl of the group. She's very forgettable. Then there's Dave, who I think is a reference to a fan Slim Shady met at White Castle in the song My Name Is. Besides having the name, he's very forgettable. This show fails on so many levels. South Park does a way better job satirizing celebrities than this show's poor attempts at it. Hell, even Eminem did a better job mocking celebrity culture in his early albums from what I remember. However, in this show, the humor is lazy. In the show, pretty much all the celebrity jokes are, wow, look at these famous people, we should beat them up, cause that's comedy apparently. There's no satire of the celebrity there really, aside from some lines about movies they've been in, like Slim Shady and the Gang beat up Ben Affleck and Matt Damon parodies for making Good Will Hunting. Their names are changed to more explicit ones, and Good Will Hunting is called Good Will Fronting. Slim Shady is pissed about the movie because he hates it, so him and his crew beat them up. I'd understand if the joke was about a bad movie, but Good Will Hunting is critically acclaimed. The joke honestly doesn't work. I guess the writers wanted an excuse for Big D and Slim Shady to beat up Ben Affleck with an Oscar. But yeah, not only are there dumb dated celebrity jokes, there are also a ton of attempts at explicit sex jokes. It all honestly makes me very uncomfortable, especially since the main characters of the Eminem show are, you know, depicted as kids. Sure, South Park had explicit jokes in it, but at least it had good writing. South Park also has a simplistic cute art style and not a semi-realistic ugly art style. There is care put into South Park's explicit jokes, but the Slim Shady Show just has these jokes simply for shock value. Penis jokes can be funny, but in the words of Kanye, it isn't funny anymore, try different jokes. However, the thing is, the dick jokes aren't funny in the Slim Shady Show to begin with. Anyway, I will not show or describe the jokes since doing that will make me hurl. Just know this show is gross. Honestly, none of the jokes in this show land, aside from two. I found it clever that Eminem is a separate character in the Slim Shady Show and that the kids met him in prison. The second joke is that there is a 7-Eleven parody convenience store called D12, named after Eminem's rap group. Other than that, though, this show is not funny to me whatsoever. Besides being poorly written, this show's animation is choppy, and I get it's a web series, but Homestar Runner was out the same year and looked far better. This is a show made by Eminem, and I assume his record label. A lot of work was clearly put into the show, I imagine, but it just doesn't look good. This is Eminem. This isn't like some independent creators making a web series. Anyway, I have lost so many brain cells watching this show and even thinking about this show. Honestly, it's a shame this cartoon wasn't good. Eminem is funny in his songs at times, but his show is just a poor attempt at replicating South Park. Honestly, if this show was a cartoon focused on grown-ups, Slim Shady hanging out with D12, it'd be a lot better. Instead, what we got was a terrible rapper cartoon. Anyway, I need to take a break and relax and play some Fortnite. I'm tired of thinking about Eminem. I'm going to relax and play some Fortnite because I don't want to think about him anymore. It's Eminem. After watching the Slim Shady Show, I'm coincidentally hearing Eminem music in Fortnite. Great, just great. I guess I can't escape him.
Suck my...
Also, fuck NFTs.
Bruh.
Hey guys, my name is Kiro from the Kiro Nemi YouTube channel, and today we're going to be very gleefully dissecting the very first episode of the Slim Shady Show, The Party Crashers. Hopefully this, well, dissection will help you understand the pain that all of us felt watching this show back to back for an hour straight. Oh boy, alright, let's go. Let's do it. Rip it off like a bandage.
Slim Shady. Slim Shady. Woo! 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 Slim Shady, yeah. Slim Shady.
I mean, so far it doesn't look so bad. I mean, it just looks like an old 2000s Flash animation. I mean, what could be so bad about it? I'm sure it's just a perfectly adequate TV show.
Hey, yo, what's cracking, bitch?
Oh no. So right off the bat, before anything starts, we already have a look at just the terrible quality of this show. The characters just look awful. It's like they tried going for a caricature style, and I'm sure that could have worked well in other contexts, but this just looks plain horrible. The color palette already looks nauseous.
I can't believe they beat us that bad.
God damn, we motherfucking suck.
How did we lose? I mean, they were just so short.
Two things. One, the lip sync absolutely blows. Like, what the fuck? Why is it animated at 5 FPS or something? Jesus Christ. Number two, why is this girl's mic quality so terrible? It's like everyone else sounds perfectly fine, but it just kind of sounds like she was recording on a computer microphone or something. What happened here?
That one was cute, though.
Man, shut the fuck up, Ken. Those little pussies need to get got somehow.
No, you shut it, ass face.
So here in the show is what I can only describe as their very first attempt at some form of proper humor. Before that, we obviously got the 69 and 420 numbers on their jerseys, which are obviously very, very hilarious. But this was the first attempt at a scripted joke. That's about the funniest this show gets, and... Why am I doing that?
Yo, you motherfuckers suck. They were so short. How'd you lose?
Humiliated, and in front of that fine little cheerleader they had, too. I wanted her so bad, but now I'll never be able to talk to her. Never.
This is Marshall Mathers. He is what I'd consider the main character of the show. He's more compelling than Slim Shady anyway, even though this is called the Slim Shady Show. But that's not saying much considering none of these characters are compelling in any way, shape, or form. His entire personality really revolves around the fact that he wants to get laid. That's about it.
Yo, don't sweat it. I got a plan.
I didn't see you after halftime, Slim. Where did you go?
Let's just say I got bored.
Holy shit, he's fucking the South Park mom! No way! No, but seriously, one of the main forms of jokes in this show is the fact that, oh my god, it's this pop culture reference doing this thing in my show. Wow! It's actually hilarious and so cool.
But I did find out the other team is having a party to celebrate their win. I say we crash it and get them assholes back. And get you laid by that cheerleader.
A couple of things to note. One, the background track that you hear, the ow, is the only real recurring song in the show, and honestly, it's kind of bad, which surprises me considering Eminem is the most successful rapper on the planet. I'd assume he'd know how to make a good background track. Number two, what is going on with Eminem's face here? Like, I get the animation is bad, but Jesus, this just looks terrible, even for bad animation standards. Number three, she's pissing herself. It's funny!
Hey, is that Dio DiCaprio?
Man, I can't stand that motherfucking pussy.
Calm down, Big D. Just let it go.
Alright, I forgot to mention that we have another sort of main character. I guess he's a more important side character. His name is Big D. The joke is that it's a slang for penis. His entire personality essentially revolves around the fact that he likes beating people up. That's about it. He's probably my least favorite character on the show. Anything he says I just cannot stand, which is a shame considering his delivery is probably the best. I respect the fact the voice actor tried hard to make it sound somewhat authentic, but at the same time I hate every word he says and I want to murder him.
So chill, Marshall. You know every time he sees some overhyped bullshit celebrities gotta beat him down? Alright, big guy, let's dispense with the reality check.
One thing that we should get out of the way is that the show likes pretending that it's some form of counterculture, celebrity culture commentary style show, a little bit like South Park or Gorillaz. And South Park is very much a main inspiration for the show, as Manuel talked about earlier, even though evidently they only really took the fart joke, vulgar humor aspect and not really much else and didn't even do it well. So let's see if the show is very clever and intelligent. Let's see if maybe it can try to do some smart, maybe interesting commentary on celebrity culture.
You know what? I saw you in that movie The Beach, biatch, and you suck too, motherfucker. Your acting sucks, and you look like a Titanic bitch.
And all you fake ass bitches who ride dick need to get a beat down too.
Hey guys, I don't know who you think you are, but this is my main homie T-Quip. You know, the rapper, and he's got my motherfucking back. So like, step off, G-Dog.
Excuse me, that's my agent. Could you calm down?
Hey, motherfucker, I'm gonna fuck you up. Ow, hey, nigga, I'm gonna kick your shit. Ow, 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 I'm gonna beat you up.
Yo, Dio, don't forget my party at Coochie's tonight. You +1, yo.
Your Honor, the satire in this scene was quite incredible. I believe that other shows that try to comment on celebrity culture in this fashion should take inspiration from it. I will now give it a round of applause. What the fuck are those legs?
Hey, what the fuck are y'all looking at?
How can you talk with my balls in your mouth? Just because we boned you guys in the court today doesn't mean you can come and crash my potty.
Yo, we're here to be friends, yo. Squash it. So let's chill. Besides, I brought peace offerings. Ecstasy.
See, children, you must learn to accept strangers' generosity. Thank you, sir.
Hey, yo, fat boy, I brought some chocolate too. I probably need it to replace some energy after the game. Chow down, fat boy. Now, where's that little cheerleader bitch you was after?
Ah, there she is. Wendy Testicle Burger.
Oh my god! It's so funny! Cause it's Wendy, but her name, instead of being her normal name, it's Testicle Burger. That's so funny! Ha!
Look at those long legs, those curves. Shit, I want a piece.
Yo, wait here. Alright now, Marshall, make your move. She's waiting for you in the closet.
Really?
Just don't forget what I told you.
Goddamn. You got a sweet little hamper there.
Oh, goddamn. This show is trying to be funny because the joke is that it's these characters that you know and love having sex. And he says it in this funny voice. This show is truly the peak of comedy.
Let me touch your ass.
Yes, that is exactly what you think he was doing. Yes, there's a reason I blurred it, because if I were to show this on YouTube, this video would get immediately demonetized. So this is where the show starts to take a real turn for the worse, because it was already bad, this episode was already shit, but like, it gets bad now, man.
Hey there, I noticed you on the court today. I love your uniform shorts. They're so fabulous. Are they Sergio Valente?
I'm so constipated right now.
motherfucker. What the fuck y'all want? Shit. Oh, fuck you. Hey, nigga, I'm gonna kick that shit. I'm gonna come.
What the fuck was that? What? I don't think I need to say anything. Like, this show, most of the flack that I was giving it earlier was slightly comedic, but this is just like, seriously. Eminem, what the fuck, dude? Like, genuinely, what is wrong with you? Like, no, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. You can do this without me, Manuel. I'm out. Bye.
And that was the Slim Shady Show, and like, what do you want me to say about it? Like, really, it's a show starring Eminem, and all he does is be unfunny and edgy for about an hour. Are there at least any redeeming qualities to it? Not really. For the most part, I can at least say that if you put this on and watch it with a couple friends, you will definitely laugh at how bad it is. But that's really about it. I think it's safe to say that I have no strong feelings towards this show heading into it, and I have no strong feelings about it after watching it. It's a relic of its time, and thankfully it's something that's gonna stay in the past. And I, for one, am glad that's the case. But hey, at least we can admit one thing, is that the Slim Shady Show is far better than Revival. Am I right, folks? Okay, that's all from me. Thanks for watching. This has been Manuel D, and roll credits. Whew, what an interesting episode, I'll say that much. Probably not gonna do this again. Wait, are the credits still waiting? Why are the credits still rolling? Are they this low? Oh, come the fuck up.